Hello, everyone. I'm Sheldon Barlett Rumor, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. I'd love for our next guest to reintroduce himself, his first and last name, and what he's up to.
Sheldon, I'm Louis Bezich, men's health advocate, contributing writer to phillyvoice.com, and of course, the author of Saving Men from Themselves 20 Proven Tactics with a New Approach to Healthy Living for Men Over 50. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. We were dealing with some
Good.
technical difficulties a little bit earlier, but we are back at it. We are back at it. What are we talking about today?
Well, today, Sheldon, more research that's been backed up by prior research, which we always like to share. And, as a backdrop, I'll tell you that,
Yeah,
we struggle, and we've talked about this many times with obesity in this
yeah,
country. It's
for
been
sure.
a challenge. We now have a whole new category of disease called lifestyle diseases that, type 2 diabetes and heart disease, et cetera, and that obesity contributes to that. But so we're always looking for hope out there for other tactics and change. And today there's a new focus on what the scientists call structural determinants. That means how
Mm,
can we structure our lives to
yeah,
promote a healthy lifestyle? And
right.
there's a new study out just earlier this month, actually, from the European Congress on Obesity
Mm,
that showed or found that reductions in work hours were
wow,
associated with lower obesity rates.
really?
Now, it's not what the scientists call, direct causation, but they seem to see a relationship between the two. And it's sort of intuitive when you think about it,
Sure.
because the scientists also point to what they call time poverty.
Mm,
The inability to have the time to, take the time to
right.
prepare meals, to exercise, and
Totally.
to, kind of reduce your stress level, because all
Absolutely.
that contributes to obesity and those
Absolutely.
lifestyle disease problems. So a little
Yeah.
bit of hope out there that if you can reduce your work hours, that might help. And of course, I should
Yeah.
want to bury the lead here is that what its renewed calls for is a 4-day work week.
A lot of
I
people
know.
are talking about this 4-day work
Yes.
week. A lot of people are very interested in this 4-day work week.
Yes.
And there's been a number of different back and forth as it relates to it. Large corporations are urging
Mhm.
for 5-day work weeks, people to come back to the office, where there's
Right.
a lot of pushback, especially coming after COVID, after the
Yes.
pandemic. People were working from home, people were working remotely. And then now, what is that balance? What's that hybrid situation? But this sounds like it's 4 days on, giving you a 3-day weekend to be able to recover in that particular way. It's not necessarily 4 days in the office and then the fifth day work from home. I think that what they're insinuating here is a 4-day work week, giving you 3 days to kind of relax.
Well, what the business experts will tell you is that there are all sorts of permeations of a 4-day work week. It
Sure.
could be working 4 days, just working 4 days
Sure.
and working more hours per day.
Mm,
It could be just working less hours
yeah.
if you can generate the productivity. And there's a whole new line of thought that says, well, maybe AI, artificial intelligence, that some of us, are a
The
little
tug and
concerned
pull. That's
about, but
on the next
maybe
episode.
yeah, exactly. We'll explore that. But maybe this is a case where it could be helpful if it creates the productivity that is needed so that there's no diminution of productivity and no reduction of revenue and things like that from a business standpoint. But
Right.
there are a lot of studies out there, depending, it's one of those classic situations where it
Yeah.
depends on who you ask. If you ask, the American Psychological Association, they've got studies that show this is a really good thing. It
Yeah.
really can, again, give you that time and make you feel better about the work-life balance that we were just talking about. So it's an interesting, idea with a lot of dimensions to it. Obviously, I come at it from the standpoint of if it's a way to lower obesity in this country,
Sure.
that's got huge ramifications.
Sure, sure. I mean, I think the way in which we work, especially here in the United States, is kind of go, 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 hustle culture, snacking at your desk, not setting aside meals, not meal prepping, not giving yourself an opportunity to find the better option, not moving around. I mean, again, if you're working all day, and the majority of our jobs that happen to be, in these offices, online, there's no physicality that has to do with what it
Right.
is that we're doing on a regular basis. So it's not even the diet and the quick grab snacks, it's the lack of mobility that really goes into that workday. We're working, but we're not moving.
Right.
And we're not really
Right.
affording ourselves the time to do that.
Right. And it's all of the above.
Yeah.
It's so much time being sedentary time, right? You're sitting at your desk and all of a sudden you realize that, 3 hours have gone by or something crazy like that, and I haven't gotten up.
Right.
Or it's like I need to, I'm locked into the desk for productivity reasons, and I'm
Yeah.
grabbing a snack, which is not, the
Sure.
healthiest thing to do. And then
100%.
it's the stress on top of that that, can generate negative things in our bodies and things like that. So
100%.
that's why when you put it all together, it's sort of intuitive that if you can again improve that work-life balance in some way, whether it's working from home, whether it's reduction of time, whatever. There's again a lot of permutations to that, but again, just interesting that it hits at one of those most challenging situations in our country, which is obesity.
No, agreed, agreed. Now, Lewis is not saying that you quit your job, and Lewis is not saying that
No,
you
no.
demand a 4-day work week. A lot of people are going into the office on Monday morning saying they
Yeah,
watched us, they said, this is what we need to do. You're the cause. No, that's not necessarily the directive, but to keep note of it as it relates, especially for a lot of you entrepreneurs out there, which I know a lot of you that are listening and watching are able to make your own schedules, right? And we are able to navigate what that looks like, prioritizing your health by prioritizing your week and your workload, I think is the directive in this moment. And I think that
yeah.
that's really interesting.
Exactly. Think about what I mentioned,
Yeah.
structural determinants, right? It's
Mm.
how you structure your life. So if there's any lesson coming out of this conversation beyond like a 4-day work week
Yeah.
versus, a 5-day and that sort of thing, it's how can you structure your life,
Yeah.
with more
Yeah.
time in it for what should be, this is what I would push for, a priority. Your
Mm.
health
Yeah.
should be a priority. And
Yes.
so you want to
Yes.
build around that.
Yeah.
And
A
yes,
hundred
we
percent.
all we have to pay the bills and we
We
have
have
to,
those. Yeah.
take care of the tuition and all sorts of things like that in our
All the
lives.
things.
I get it.
All the
Been
things.
there, done that.
Yeah.
If there's a way to, to fold in, whether it's in the evening, whether it's first thing in the morning, whether
Yeah.
it's taking a break at lunch hour to walk around the block, whatever it might be, think about ways that you can structure your life to inject a little bit more time for yourself and for your health.
Absolutely. There are no bills to pay. There's no tuition to pay if you're not around. There's nothing to really look forward to.
Right.
There's nothing,
There you
right, to
go.
prioritize if you aren't around to be able to do it. So all of that rushing around, all of that squeezing it into time, just make sure that there's some time for you and that you prioritize your health as well. I love this one. This one's really great. I know a lot of people that are watching are excited about the suggestion of a 4-day work week. Seeing if we can incorporate that into our lives. And I'm
Yeah.
excited that there are different variations and ways that people can
Right.
restructure their day to day and restructure their work week and month to make sure that they're living healthy, especially with everything that's going on with obesity in this country.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, I
Good
love it.
stuff.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us. If people want to get
Of
in touch
course.
with you, if they want to learn more about all that you have going on and get your hands on those books, where do they find that information?
You can get me on social media at Louis Bezich. And of course, my website, louisbezich.com. You'll see what's going on in my world of healthy living.
I love it. You will not be disappointed. We only point you in the right direction, and that direction is always in Lewis's direction. We need you to get in touch with him today. From all of us here at This Is It TV, I'm Sheldon Barlett Rumor, and we will see you soon. Take care.